Let me introduce you to Taylor Arnone, our orchestra director. He's got a little bit of it. Welcome, Taylor Arnone.
Thank you. One of the things that I love about the orchestra and the choir at this church is that we get to take music and we get to take scripture and hymns and we get to put them to a little bit of a different context. There's something about reading the lyrics of these older hymns and these praise songs and letting that meditate in our hearts, but then it's something completely different to take words and texture, words that put music to it and put a little bit of a different kind of feel, a different kind of feeling behind it. And that last song that James so wonderfully sang, Forevermore, is Psalm 145. And it's a wonderful hymn to meditate on, but I'd just like to meditate on how he does it. Anybody know what this is? I went to school locally for music at Masters, and it was really one of the first times that I picked one of these up. And as a musician, but just as a believer in general, there's something so refreshing about going back to these, going back to this book. And maybe there's a couple of them that might be a little questionable, but they're fun to sing. But others are really deep. There's something about a church singing together the first line of How Firm a Foundation. How firm a foundation, ye saints of the Lord, is laid in your faith in his excellent word. What more can he say than to you he hath said, to you who from refuge to Jesus have fled? And we think about words like that, Wesley's And Can It Be, where you hear it in the lyrics and you hear it in processing. How can this be? How can this love that my God has for me, how can that be true? And then one more, we look at My Jesus, I Love Thee. And I'm not going to read it now, but I would encourage you to. And then think back that the lyrics to that hymn, all those years ago, was written by a teenager. And it's just so wonderful. I'm so glad that this church still appreciates the hymnal and hymns, and we put it in with all wonderful praise songs that we still do. And I know that the team here really does put a lot of thought into the song choices for each Sunday. And there's just a lot more than, all right, well, we like this one and we like this one, and I appreciate that. The next song, the next piece that the orchestra is going to do is probably one that you haven't heard many times before, but it's an old hymn called On Jordan's Stormy Banks. And it's just got that wonderful old Americana feel. And then if you listen close enough, you'll also hear the tune in the sweet by and by. So I hope you enjoy that.
you ever sang that song, In the Sweet By and By? I'm just kind of curious. Uh-oh, there's a million of you. Sing it for me. In the sweet by and by, we will meet on that beautiful shore. In the sweet